That afternoon, I had my worst nightmare. But that's not the important part. I left it all behind to live in a van by the sea. But was I running away or running towards something? London was hectic, but comfortably predictable. I had the life I thought I wanted. Our own place in London we renovated with our own hands, sweat and tears.
But this stuff is really compressible, so...
A steady job, security, stability. A plan that looked good on paper. My days blur into screens, deadlines, back-to-back meetings, and many side projects. And still, something was missing. For a summer vacation, we decided to rent a campervan in Sardinia, not knowing what we were getting into. It was cramped, hot, and chaotic. We didn't know where to get water or where to park, and we got on each other's nerves all the time. Nothing went quite smoothly, and yet a door opened. Waking up by the beach, it was a dream of mine since little. Time slowed for the first time in my life, and all my worries softened, and the world got big again. When we got back to London, I couldn't unfeel it. The city offered more money, more stability, more projects, more success. But that more felt heavy. So when my company offered me a raise to stay, I pushed. Wasn't this what I used to want? But deep down, I knew. Happiness wasn't in wanting more, it was in needing less. Living wasn't brave, it was scary. My family worried, friends asked, how long are you off for? But I was more afraid of waking up years later with the same hollow feeling, still wondering what might have happened if we just go. Okay, look at this mess. So this is my office. We emptied the flat drawer by drawer, and it felt like closing a chapter, like saying goodbye to my life in London. Every item was a hard decision, but also a relief of letting go of so much I never used, of letting go of the attachments to the past.
I heard you want to leave this place where we grew up, this old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.
And just like that, we turned the key and rolled out. Could we really build a life on wheels? We were about to find out. Van life was magical. At first. It was like waking up in a new world. A quieter one, where dreams felt possible again. Like remembering how it felt to be a kid, spending days outside, listening to birds, the wind moving through the trees. Back to basics. Cooking from scratch, washing our clothes by hand, making bonfires, taking good care of the water, clock watching and rushing faded. Little by little, I woke up in peace, excited for a new day. A new place.
T-shirts laid out like our grief through
For another sunset. And another sunset.
we say it all
And another sunset.
with fate on our lines. We rise and we fall along with the tide in the harbor.
It felt liberating, unstoppable. But freedom has a price. Crossing borders meant language barriers, visa forms, insurance, new rules, new stress. Traveling what felt like our whole life on board made me protective of the van. We escaped some cities, afraid of break-ins. And flying home meant leaving our actual home behind. And we realized how lonely this life can be. It's hard to keep up with old friendships, and new ones fade fast. We met loads of people, but nothing lasted. We felt a bit against the current, arriving as others left, leaving as others arrived. Still, I felt privileged to park just meters from the sea, sipping my coffee with the comfort of home. One afternoon, we drove onto this beautiful pebble beach, like we've done plenty of times, but this time, van life disaster, we came to a really beautiful beach in Greece. We were trying to park, and guess what happened? Our van is completely stuck. The wheels sank. After trying for hours to get the van out, we asked for help. The first tow rope snapped. The second snapped.
Oh, fuck.
This is just so scary. On the third try, right when I was giving up on getting our little house back, questioning every decision that led us here, we were free. I realized then,
Never been so scared in my life.
when the odds pull in the opposite direction, all that's left is faith. I'm really glad we came here, though. That place marked a turning point. We stayed for 2 weeks and we built healthier habits for our life and relationship. I even made a short film about it. Check it out after this one.
Summer's round the corner, forever young.
The best thing about this life is you choose your path, the when and the where.
To the sun,
You decide how long to stay and how quickly to move on. We weren't racing through Europe and Turkey, ticking boxes. We took our time and let the journey set the pace. Some landscapes were simply stunning, like nothing I'd ever seen before. Seeing the sea on the horizon with the sunlight peeking through the trees reassured me I've made the right choice to be here now. Because there was no rush. We sometimes skipped full roads to save a bit. Most of the time, the national roads were fine.
Are you hound dog tired, singing all night long? Who's gonna save you?
Then came the day we found ourselves on a cliff edge dirt road with brutal climbs and drops. Loose gravel, no barrier, and my heart in my throat. For an hour on roads like this, your mind rewinds, the mist turn, the border crossing, even the day you choose this whole adventure. And just like that, the predictable life you knew starts to sound a lot more comfortable again. I kept breathing and praying we'd make it out in one piece. When we finally hit pavement again, it felt like a miracle. In that moment, I learned to steady the panic, breathe, and trust we'd be okay.
Go on home. On the day he left the South, it's when the war broke out. Joined the 25th and shut the rebels down.
But here's the lesson I learned after 18 months on the road. It was never about chasing freedom or a life without stress. It was about meeting myself. Van life stripped away the people, the noise, the distractions, and left me with me. Every insecurity I'd buried and all the fears I'd accumulated. That's when I saw it. Real freedom isn't escape. It's living so honestly, there's nowhere left to hide.
Gentle hands, golden eyes.
And it's easy to stay where it's comfortable and avoid your fears. So instead, I started using fear as fuel.
Holier than I am.
I learned to listen in the silence, to turn loneliness into solitude, to understand that freedom isn't no rules, it's choosing your own.
But I am afraid.
And growth comes through every breakdown, when we push beyond our insecurities. It isn't a finish line, it's a practice. Maybe you don't need to burn your life down to find yourself. Maybe it's a conversation you are avoiding, a tiny first step that keeps tapping your shoulder. As for me, this chapter is closing. Not because I lost the dream, but because it did its job. It brought me back to myself. I'll share a huge update in the next video. For now, breathe. You were waiting for a sign. This is it.